Have you ever been unemployed? Have you ever lived paycheck to paycheck and still fell behind? Have you ever wondered if you could afford your groceries at the store, or if your child was going to wake up and be hungry for breakfast and you wouldn't have it for them? Now imagine that roughly 3 billion people live in dire poverty on less than $2.50 a day. By simply living here in America, you live the way 2/3 of the world will never know. 800 million people across the globe go hungry every day. With the passing of each year, 9 million of them will die because they are too poor to stay alive. How can a problem so big and complex as poverty be tackled? How can the hungry be fed? Whose responsibility is it to lift the poor and the needy, especially during times of economic uncertainty? Every year, charity organizations pour billions of dollars into global aid, sending food, clothing, medical supplies, and money into developing countries. But these compassionate efforts are often short-lived. The emergency passes, the aid runs out, yet the poverty remains. Over the last 30 years, Mentors International has been the premier nonprofit organization bringing lasting change rather than fleeting relief through innovative programs which have transformed the lives of individuals and families who are breaking their cycle of generational poverty in developing countries.
Good evening, friends, and welcome. I'm Chris Dunn, CEO of Mentors International. This year marks our 30th anniversary. It's a tremendous milestone, and we're grateful to each of you for being a part of this amazing journey. You know, the mission of our organization has always been to lift people out of poverty and put them on a path to sustainable self-reliance. Now, it's no secret that this has been a very challenging year. The global pandemic has impacted millions of lives and resulted in widespread damage to jobs and small businesses, particularly in developing countries. The need for our services has never been greater. And thanks to your incredible gestures of support, I'm pleased to report that we've been able to multiply our efforts and expand our reach during this time of unprecedented need, serving more families and individuals than ever before. We've also become more efficient, doing a lot more with less. This pandemic has forced us to quickly adapt and retool. We're now reaching more people virtually with an impressive array of online resources. And this efficiency is showing up in a continuous reduction in our average cost to serve a family. Your donations are now going further and blessing more lives. This work is bigger than any one individual or program. It spans generations and requires our very best collective and collaborative effort. Every donation, large and small, makes a profound difference. You know, my wife has a sign hanging in our dining room that says, "When you're here, you're family." And that's how we feel about each one of you. We truly believe that there's a place here for everyone. Now tonight you'll hear some powerful and inspiring stories, and we've invited some very special friends to share their talents and ideas. Now it's my great pleasure to introduce Bruce and Derek Hough. They'll be serving as our MCs for this evening's event. Bruce is a long-standing member of our board of directors. He's a thought leader, a pioneering entrepreneur, and has had significant leadership roles in many successful businesses and enterprises. He's a tireless ambassador for Mentors International and a great personal friend. And Bruce, I'm going to let you introduce Derek, who probably doesn't need a lot of introduction for our audience tonight.
Thank you, Chris. I am so excited to introduce my son, Derek. He is a multi-talented entertainer, 2-time Emmy Award winner, 4 seasons as a judge on World of Dance, 6 Mirrorball trophies to his name, a New York Times best-selling author, and currently he serves as a judge on ABC's dance competition, Dancing with the Stars.
Thanks, Dad, for that introduction. I am so grateful to be spending this evening with you all, as well as those joining us virtually from their homes. My dad has always been a great example to me of service, as he is always looking for ways to uplift others. He's the one who actually first introduced me to this great organization.
I remember when together we traveled to Mexico and Guatemala, and we met with the director of the new Merida, Mexico Learning Center. In fact, I went to the opening of the Learning Center in Trujillo, Peru with my wife, and made many other trips to Nicaragua. And another son even came to Honduras and did his Eagle Scout project as part of our service operations there. It's really been sort of a family affair.
Yes, I actually remember we took the Learning Center director to dinner, and how excited he was with the opportunity to serve the people in Mexico with mentoring and training.
Yeah, it's great. He was a wonderful, wonderful person. I'd like to also thank our sponsors for tonight, the Brent and Bonnie Jean Beasley Foundation, who are our Caring Hearts sponsor this evening. EcoShield Pest Control, Town Storage, and Sunrider International have generously contributed to be our Changing Lives sponsor.
Big O Tires are the building community sponsor. And Big D Corporation is the Healing Hand sponsor. So guys, thank you so much.
We really can't do it without these wonderful sponsors. In fact, they have made this evening possible because of their generous support. 100% of the donations and the silent auction proceeds will be going directly to programs and services that Mentors International provides. And thanks to one generous sponsor, he or she is going to match donations up to $50,000, in essence doubling your impact. For convenience, you can even text the word mentors to 76278, that's 76278, to donate from your mobile device.
And don't forget the silent auction. There are some great items up for grab. There are links to the auction on the Mentors International website as well as in the comments.
In fact, one of those items is going to be something personalized from Derek Hough, who I just introduced as, an entertainer.
Yeah.
It could be a birthday greeting, an anniversary. It could be some kind of a FaceTime thing.
We'll think of something.
We'll think of
something fun.
But remember, the auction is going to end at 7 p.m. Pacific time, Saturday. These auction proceeds and donations will be helping families like Teresa's.
Achani mamli Teresa. Sijio ichiwe noko inyawe yeko ya ni no ke no pe jimbe ni ga si o pe jimbe ni juwa lo pi ono ne ibanu ni hiyo ba nyu ni ka ni ba ye ko tokota po inyo ma he ne mawo ne tokota in he una ne sigu la pa this time fe tokota nge inani tia ga ilaska ko lu po ma ka ngu ngoli no boga pe po ineko lo ni nu ni ba ni ha mi bu ajo la ke bi ni hiyo jine ni no le ini ibinya mayo ibang ska ko ngi de nya ham piano ni ka ya ni mo ji ni no me chwe pe ni ka ngai jwa yo piano si pa hu ye hu se itu ko no ni jwa ngi pa nya ngai lo pa nya ngai da o piano wa yo ni fine lo piano lo le beni chwe no ko ke kan ko mene di bone no ko be trombela te yo ibeska ni ga hiyo ni iyo nyeni hiyo ni uni wayo se pio ni ngano jwa yo dali bi nyeni hiyo to kotane yo ma chaga wono ko hinulu ni ngano me pio ni next talk maka wo minulu lo nge modi bom lo wa chaga wo wa ibu ajo pio no e sinyo nene madame baji pe ma ha me chu ka ba modi aye ka buam ni na ko ni ngai jwa ni na ko ni kana no yi ina ni ika yo ni wayo pa jo ni wayo ika boy hu wona wa ka hiya ju nga school hiyo pen slip ika yo na fen ko ni boy.
Teresa is so grateful that her children's bellies are full and her children are in school. Her customers come to her store, saving her the pain of having to walk so far on her crippled feet. You can just see from the smile on Teresa's face that she's excited about the future. She's full of hope and determination. Teresa said soon she would have a better house. So did she get one?
Actually, I'm happy to say that she did. With continued mentoring and support from Mentors International, she achieved her goal. And I'm sure that today she's setting more goals. Teresa's story of success is very similar to the others shared over the last 30 years. Mentors International has been serving with the philosophy of providing a hand up instead of a handout. They do this through one-on-one mentoring, job-focused vocational courses, business training, and when appropriate, targeted financial solutions, commonly known as microloans. Now, Menlo Smith is one of the principal founders of Mentors International, a tremendous individual, a true entrepreneur himself. After he developed one of the largest candy companies in the world, he went to serve the people of the Philippines. After witnessing the great poverty there, he felt compelled to help. But he didn't just want to give them money and handouts providing temporary relief. Menlo established our purpose and vision over 30 years ago. Here is Menlo sharing his wisdom with us during our early years.
Now, a word about our basic goal in this work. Our goal is to help families help themselves to a better life. Self-help is the only lasting, reliable way that you can ever help anyone. And it's surely the only way that you can ever really solve the problem of poverty.
Menlo himself is a great mentor. I know that I would not be where I am today without the mentors who have helped, supported, and guided me and cheered me along the way.
Yes, mentoring is what makes the difference when making life-changing transformations. Watch how this program works.
In developing countries, the poor struggle to just provide their families with enough food from day to day. They're worried about how to pay the monthly rent for a tiny shack that doesn't even keep out the rain and wind. Those who struggle in extreme poverty do not have the mindset to plan for or to dream of a brighter future. Mentoring is the key to changing the circumstance of individuals struggling in third world poverty. Each journey to self-reliance begins with one-on-one mentoring. Our mentors evaluate each mentee's circumstances, abilities, needs, and goals. Then the mentee is guided through the appropriate training courses and financial solutions based on their needs. Our mentors guide and teach each mentee as they continue to progress until a level of sustainable self-reliance is reached. With mentoring, newfound confidence empowers individuals to move forward building their successful futures. These mentees go on to support and build up the communities in which they live, making the ripple effect of Mentors International even greater. Learning through mentoring has proven to be more effective than just giving money to those in need. Mentors International is founded on mentoring principles that create lasting impact, allowing donations to go much further.
Every donated dollar that goes towards our mentoring program creates approximately $5 of economic impact for a mentored family.
For as little as $140, an individual can be mentored to sustainable self-reliance. Tonight, you can provide the means to end the generational cycle of poverty for another. In the comments and the description is a link you can use to donate right now, or text mentors to 76278. 76278. Remember that your donations are being matched up to $50,000, doubling your impact with this match.
I would like to encourage everyone with us tonight to look inside themselves. Your donation will help mentor and lift a family for literally generations to come, a family like Juana's.
In a country of lush landscapes lives many in extreme poverty. Uneven sticks line roads, forming the outside walls of drafty homes. Layer upon layer of densely packed mud keeps the fierce winds from chilling the home where Juana Gomez is raising her 4 children.
We yearn to have a little more for a better life for our families.
And for years, Gomez grew a small garden to feed her family. Daily, she would fill a drum with water and wheel it to her garden, dip a cup, then walk the rows, watering individual plants one by one.
It is so amazing to see how not only Juana's life has changed for the better, but how many other families are benefiting from Juana's farming enterprise. Here is Juana today. Look at how tall her plants are growing thanks to the irrigation supplies she was able to purchase.
Yeah, I could use some of that gardening help,
Seriously.
I can tell you. Yes, that is why I actually really love serving with Mentors International so much. The help and support they provide truly are making a lasting difference. and they've been making such a meaningful impact for at least 30 years now. I've been blessed to see how they have grown and improved over the years. Watch how they have grown over the years in this short video.
I lost everything. I had nothing. I felt so alone. I didn't know what to do.
I wanted to graduate, but I was needed to help work in the fields before I could go to school and kept falling asleep in class. Eventually, I just stopped going.
I knew that I had to do something else to provide for my family.
My husband and I wanted a better life for our children. I wanted them to have what I never did.
More than 3 billion people throughout the world live on less than $2.50 a day. With little education and even fewer opportunities, these individuals and families find themselves trapped in a cycle of poverty that has lasted for generations. We at Mentors International have a solution. Mentors International has a proven track record of 30 years of lifting individuals out of poverty. We work together to put those trapped in generational poverty on a path towards sustainable self-reliance through mentoring, business training, job-focused vocational courses, and access to financial solutions.
Then I found Mentors International.
They mentored me, helped me to see that I could accomplish so much more.
They helped me grow my business.
They taught me needed job skills.
For the last 30 years, Mentors International has had the privilege of being a part of the transformations of individuals as they progress and find greater purpose in their lives and in their jobs. Mentors International was founded by Menlo Smith in 1990 after a humanitarian mission to the Philippines. He taught us from the very beginning.
These are sweet people. They don't deserve what they have. They deserve something better. They really do. The principles are here on the earth. The resources are here on the earth. And if we can just get the resources and the principles into their minds and their hearts and give them the encouragement needed to make use of those things, life can be a lot better. It doesn't have to be the way it is.
At our 15th anniversary, President Gordon B. Hinckley shared with us.
I think that the greatest pandemic, if I can use that word, which is used so much these days, the great pandemic of the world is poverty. Millions upon millions of people who struggle and try to stay alive. In these impoverished nations, there are millions, hundreds of millions really, who never in all their lives will have the kind of meal that we've had tonight.
With the pandemic of poverty and the impact of the worldwide COVID-19 pandemic, more and more families are struggling to make it from day to day. Last year, two strong organizations, Lifting Generations and Mentors International, merged to create a stronger organization dedicated to ending poverty. Together, we continue to grow and expand throughout the world in developing countries. Not only have we grown geographically, but we have grown to reach more individuals and families by developing our resources, investing in technology, and expanding our model, impacting more and more families, teaching principles of self-reliance.
I learned about money and about savings, about customers' relationship,
I was able to attend classes to gain the knowledge to become successful.
responsibility,
Service.
Today, through mergers and expansions, Mentors International continues to uphold this 30-year legacy with ever-increasing fervor and effectiveness.
Now I always have enough food.
My children are all enrolled in school full-time. The oldest two have gone to university.
I teach my children the principles that I am learning.
My grandchildren will never know poverty.
Bringing hope and encouragement, Mentors International continues to lift individuals today and for generations to come. This is philanthropy that works.
I am amazed at the growth and expansion that Mentors International has achieved over the last 30 years. It truly is, really is remarkable.
Mentors International has continually stayed true to its mission, honoring the vision of the founders. Yes, they have accomplished much, but there is a lot more to do. Today, the need is even greater. With the worldwide pandemic, it is the poor that are affected the most. In these developing countries, there are no programs to really help with food, education, or job support.
It is because of you and your kind donations, Mentors International is in these developing countries to provide the support and much needed programs that no one else can provide.
Yeah, there really isn't a safety net in these countries, and that's why it's so important to have our organization serving in these countries. We are very excited now to have Peter Breinholt, been a great supporter for many years, with us this evening. He has a unique acoustic folk sound that has made him one of the most beloved performers in the region. In 2017, Peter traveled to Honduras, where he met several of the families receiving mentoring and support from Mentors International. We are privileged to hear him share his experience with Mentors International and his talents with us this evening. Welcome, Peter.
Hi, my name is Peter Breinholt. I'm a singer-songwriter. Sometimes I'm a videographer. And in 2017, I was invited to go down to Honduras with Mentors International to meet some of the recipients of the microloan program down there and to interview them, video them, and profile them. And I did it. The stories blew me away. I was so inspired by it. And we came home and I took the video footage and we did these profiles. And there's a song I had written called The House by the Side of the Road, which is based on a poem some of you may know by Sam Walter Foss, where he's saying, you know, some people want to live private lives. They want to live off the beaten path. And not me. I want to live in a house right by the side of the road so that I can see people come and go. I can greet them. I can serve them. I can get to know them. And I think that's the spirit of what Mentors International is doing in the world. And here's the song with the video, some of the video footage we captured.
There are souls with the lines withdrawn in a place they call their own. There's a star up in the heavens in a lonely firmament. And there are some who blaze a path where the highways never pass. But not me, keep me close as I can be to the people I can see. Don't hide those eyes and roam across the countryside. Let me have a house beside the road. There's a place out in the middle of an otherwise new fair where you can hear a drum and fiddle playing all alone out there. And there are noises in the night, and the travelers travel light, but not here. I'm as close as I am near to all the people I can hear. So turn around, don't hide those eyes. Stroll across the countryside, let me build my house beside the road. Let the weary speak about their visions and their dreams, all the places they have seen. They are welcome here. And when it draws to the end, I'm gonna be a friend to man. I see these faces on the mend, and I'll know what the strangers never know. This house beside the road. So turn around, don't hide those eyes. Explode across the countryside. Let me have a house beside a road. Strong
Thank you so much, Peter, for inspiring and uplifting us tonight. I love seeing all of those smiling faces in there. I too want a house by the side of the road to be a friend to those that pass by. After personally meeting some of the mentors in Mexico, I can tell you that they feel the same way.
Yeah, thank you, Peter. That was beautiful. Love it. Tonight, we are privileged to hear from Elder Lynn G. Robbins, who serves as a General Authority 70 for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Elder Robbins has spent much time in Latin America and has witnessed firsthand the great poverty that exists in the world. Today, Elder Robbins is serving as chairman of the Just Serve Steering Committee and is a member of the Just Serve Advisory Committee. He is also serving as priesthood advisor of the Welfare and Self-Reliance Services Department. He has been involved with Mentors International for nearly 20 years. Elder Robbins.
Welcome and good evening through the internet. I'm grateful for the invitation to spend a virtual evening with all of you who love Mentors International. Tonight, we celebrate the 30th anniversary of Mentors International. 30 years ago, Mentors International granted its first microloan in the Philippines. Since that first loan, over $60 million have been contributed and helped more than 4.5 million people grow their businesses and escape a life of poverty. It's a phenomenal success story that has inspired and touched each one of us, and that's why we are here tonight supporting its ongoing success. I have been following the success of Mentors International with great interest for nearly its entire 30 years. I stayed in Menlo Smith's home in St. Louis in December of 1997 and have admired him ever since. I consider him a dear friend and commend him for his compassionate heart, his wonderful life, and his many admirable accomplishments. Others, of course, were also involved, including Dan Gifford and the late Ross Farnsworth Jr., founders of Cause of Hope and One Life at a Time. That combined to form Lifting Generations, which itself recently merged with Mentors International. All of these independent causes are now united in a greater whole in wonderfully synergistic and complementary ways. I commend the founders of each for their vision, their compassion, and their faith that has impacted the lives of millions. I have been inspired by the vision of Mentors International all these years, and it has become one of the charities that I most admire. For my message this evening, I would like to explain why I rank Mentors International so highly among all charities or foundations. Let me introduce reason number one with the story from colonial India. During British rule of colonial India, an unacceptable number of venomous cobras lived in and around the city of Delhi. To solve the problem, local authorities began paying a bounty for dead cobras. The well-intentioned but ill-advised bounty backfired when enterprising locals began breeding cobras for profit, further compounding the problem. Harmful side effects in the world of medicine is another well-known example of how even the best undertakings often have unintended and undesirable consequences. The phenomenon of unintended consequences causing more harm than intended benefits is known as the Cobra effect. An example of the Cobra effect in helping the poor is 4th and 5th generation welfare recipients right here in the United States, the unfortunate and unintended consequences of a well-intentioned welfare program that too frequently created dependency and entitlements rather than independence and gratitude. In helping the poor, it is important to remember the proper balance between two complementary principles, charity and self-reliance. One way of understanding this balance is with the well-known metaphor of giving a man a fish versus teaching him the art of fishing. There are times when you clearly give a fish to a desperate man to prevent starvation. But as quickly as possible, you try to migrate to the other end of the spectrum before the Cobra effect slithers in with dependency and entitlements. Here's another way of looking at it. Charity without self-reliance is Santa Claus. Self-reliance without charity or any compassion is Scrooge. In our efforts to help the needy, we strive to find the right balance between charity and self-reliance. Either extreme, if unbalanced by the other, is futile and counterproductive. We tend to hold Santa Claus in high esteem while holding Scrooge in contempt. But of the two, surprisingly, it is Santa Claus who does the greater harm, as evidenced by 4th and 5th generation welfare recipients. A handout or gift from Santa may help in the short run, but can cause catastrophic harm in the long run. That's why Mentors International created its famous catchphrase, a hand up, not a handout. As Menlo Smith would be the first to point out, he still hasn't handed out a dime to anyone. Snowplow parenting is another example of Santa unbalanced. Snowplow parents prepare the road for the child rather than preparing the child for the road. Last year, 50 wealthy parents, including Hollywood stars, were charged in a college admissions scandal where bribes, not talent or hard work, allegedly paved the way for their children's admittance to elite universities. On the other hand, an inspiring example of the proper balance is found in the touching production of The Miracle Worker, a dramatic work derived from Helen Keller's autobiography titled The Story of My Life. In their Santa-like approach to their daughter, Helen's hovering parents were overprotective and overindulgent, with the counterproductive results of stunting Helen's emotional, social, and intellectual growth. Conversely, Anne Sullivan, Helen's private teacher, seen in the second photo, found a wiser blend and balance on the Santa-Scrooge continuum. She knew that Helen had received far too much Santa and began moving more toward the self-reliance end of the spectrum. In the end, it was Anne Sullivan, more than Helen's parents, who helped Helen live up to her true potential. It's tempting for all of us, as parents, to raise our children as Helen's parents did. We hate to see our children suffer or struggle too much. As a result, we tend to overprotect, overindulge, and come to the rescue too quickly, with many unintended consequences. Mentors International has found the right balance on the Santa-Scrooge continuum in nearly a perfect way. Their mission statement reads, "Lifting generations in developing countries by leading individuals and families from poverty to sustainable self-reliance through personalized mentoring, vocational skills, training, and financial solutions." What an inspiring mission statement. To summarize principle number 1, a wise balance between charity and self-reliance is necessary to help the needy in the long run. Otherwise, good intentions may run amok and do more harm than good. Principle or reason number 2. When we make a donation, it is wise to ask ourselves, what will be the impact? Where will resources make the greatest impact or give us the greatest bang for the buck, the best return on investment, the highest yield, the best rate of return? To illustrate this principle, consider the following 3 donations or scenarios. Scenario number 1, buying sufficient groceries for a single mom and her children to feed them for a month. That's good. Scenario number 2, even better, is helping the same single mom find a job and feed her and her children for a year or longer. However, the best scenario, number 3, is helping the single mom improve her job skills and feed her for a lifetime. Charities often publish the percentage of a donor's gift that makes it to the recipient, as if that were the most important question or variable in choosing where to spend our charitable dollars. While that is good and good to know, the more important question for me is which donation has the greatest impact. Contrast these 2 scenarios using a $200 gift as an example. In scenario number 1, the entire $200 gift is given to the single mom to buy groceries for, let's say, 2 or 3 weeks. Scenario 2, the same $200 gift is used by Mentors International, where $24 is used for overhead and $176 is used as a microloan, which happens to be the average loan size from Mentors International for the most recent fiscal year. The first scenario feeds a family for a 2 or 3 week period, while the second for a lifetime. Now, I don't mind a portion of my donation going to overhead if it is making that kind of an impact. With a donation, then, the far more relevant questions are these. Is the impact or benefit short or long-lived? Is the quality of life improved? Does the donation bring short or long-term peace, hope, and happiness? I don't want to minimize the value of donating a bag of groceries or giving a man a fish. There are times when that is clearly needed. But with this second principle in mind, it is easy to understand why teaching the art of fishing has the more profound impact and why that kind of a donation may be even more gratifying to the donor. Speaking of a bang for the buck and a return on investment, consider the third reason why a mentor's donation makes so much sense. Mentor's 96% repayment rate on microloans is truly extraordinary. With that high of a repayment rate, it allows 96% of the previous year's donations to be rolled forward, creating a snowball effect, with thousands of additional needy recipients helped the following year. In other words, the donation lives on and on and on, a kind of perpetual donation. Mentors International is founded on principles of sustainable self-reliance. By providing a hand up through its mentoring programs, business training, and its educational certificate program, it hits the bullseye of balanced charitable giving with all three principles. First, a wise balance between charity and self-reliance. Second, an incredible bang for the buck. And third, a perpetual donation that lives on and on. The icing on the cake is to then provide the financial solution of microloans, all catered to each individual's needs and wants, to those who qualify, so they can invest these funds into growing their own businesses. Among charitable foundations, Mentors is among an elite class of charities that we could say scores a perfect 10. I would like to conclude by thanking each one of you. I've already paid tribute to the founders and others involved with them, but none of this could have happened without each of you who have contributed so generously to this extraordinary and worthy cause. May the Lord continue to bless and prosper this great undertaking so that it may continue to impact millions more worldwide in the wonderful ways it is doing. I so pray in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Thank you, Elder Robbins, for sharing your thoughts and feelings with us this evening.
Some might wonder if there is a cost to the individuals that receive the mentoring or the vocational classes or the entrepreneurial training from Mentors International.
Yeah, because it does cost money to help support these young people and these families. But with 30 years of experience, we know that, first of all, they're not able to pay money, but they're more likely to properly utilize their vocational classes and training if they feel personally invested in the process anyway. So it's human nature to value what you pay for. A successful strategy that we have implemented is called service currency. Mentees and students pay for their training courses by performing at least 40 hours of approved and structured community service to schools, municipalities, hospitals, orphanages, senior care centers, and other types of charitable enterprises. As a result, they better themselves and they better their communities and the lives around them.
I was so impressed to learn that in the last year alone, over 150,000 hours of service were completed. Even during a worldwide pandemic and community lockdowns, these individuals stepped up and found significant ways to serve. Felipe is a single father with 3 children. Wanting to improve the lives of his children, he enrolled their mentoring and leadership course in Trujillo, Peru.
Felipe helped fulfill his service obligation by volunteering to disinfect the Bella Vista police station, local nursing home, and the surroundings of his apartment building, benefiting many people. With the COVID-19 virus affecting his community, this service project was greatly needed and appreciated. I remember back in March, because the coronavirus, it seemed like it just shut the whole world down. Yeah. And our in-person mentoring had to stop for a while. Yeah. But it was during this time that our team of mentors stepped up. They continued to reach out via phone calls, video chats, and social media, providing support and encouragement in a time that a lot of things just stopped.
Yeah.
We kept going.
Now, I was so impressed to learn that over the last couple of years, Mentors International had invested in technology. They had already designed many of their programs and courses to be provided virtually through online platforms.
That's right. In fact, going digital was something that had been started long before the pandemic, and we were prepared. Today, all of the programs and services from Mentors International are available online. Even in developing countries, people can have access to the internet through their cell phones. The improvements in technology and the preparations of Mentors International made them ready to overcome the challenges, and boy, they have been challenges, of 2020.
In August of this year, Mentors International had their first graduating classes from the Dominican Republic.
So awesome.
85 individuals received certifications in graphic design and sales and customer service. What is remarkable is that our graphic design instructor was teaching and living in Mexico while instructing students in the Dominican Republic. With a virtual model of Mentors International, they can reach countless more struggling with poverty. Location is no longer an issue.
Yeah, this has been a great blessing in the lives of so many people because of our preparation to be online. Everyone is looking forward to the day that our Centers for Education and Mentoring open back up when students, mentees, mentors are able to meet once again in person. Until then, we are staying virtually connected.
It has been inspiring to hear about all of the progress and success that Mentors International has made this evening. It really has been.
Every time I see the videos and the photographs and even my own personal ones, it brings back these great memories of the impact that we're having. Mentors International tracks each mentee's journey towards greater self-reliance. We have metrics. They keep detailed records to help ensure that their programs are creating lasting impacts and that their outcomes are continually improving. During the 2020 fiscal year, they impacted approximately 30,000 individuals and families, and over 4,000 students received job-focused training. Our business and entrepreneurship training is creating and growing businesses, supporting economic growth. More than 14,000 new jobs were created or obtained by the individuals Mentors International served.
Over 24,000 microloans were dispersed to provide these small business enterprises with much needed capital. That is why they call this financial solutions. This is a solution, not a burden. This small loan provides opportunities, not challenges. With the Mentors International's loan model, when a loan is repaid, the funds are then lent out to another. So in essence, no donated dollar ever dies. It goes on to help additional individuals and families, making your impact even greater.
That's one of the measures of a sustainable program, is those dollars never die. The average increase in incomes of mentees working with Mentors International is about 159%. These individuals also work to increase their savings and decrease their personal debt.
Those are some impressive numbers.
They are. I encourage you to visit mentorsinternational.org, and you can see more of the impacts and outcomes that Mentors International has achieved. Follow them on social media for updates and success stories.
I am so thrilled to introduce our next guest for this evening. David Archuleta received national attention from his successful appearance on American Idol and is a very talented singer and amazing songwriter. His latest album, called Therapy Sessions, came out in May of this year. Welcome, David Archuleta.
Hey everyone. First off, I would like to congratulate Mentors International on their 30th anniversary. They have created a positive impact for millions over the years. Several years ago, I had the chance to see some of this positive impact when I went with Mentors International to Central America, to Guatemala and to Honduras, where my mom is from, Honduras, which is really special to see. And while I was down there, there was a woman that stood out to me in particular, whose name was Imelda. Imelda had seen a need in her community for crates used by farmers and for produce. So she and her husband started making 25 crates a day with their business. And this gave them about $125 a month. Now, this money wasn't enough to live on, though, especially not enough to provide for their kids. Imelda heard about Mentors International and the program that they provide, and so she applied for a loan. And this loan, she was looking for an extra power saw and also for extra materials, scrap materials to make these crates. And so she got a loan of $150. And with this, she was able to get a couple more table saws and hire more employees. And so as her business grew, more importantly, more important than just the supplies was learning how to become a real businesswoman in savings and in her be more aware of her finances and how to handle and maneuver those. So this Mentors program was crucial in this part. She started making, when I saw her, she started making over 300 crates a day. She had 5 employees, and you could tell she was a hustler. And what I've heard now is that she's been able to hire 7 more full-time employees and grow her business. She was ready. She was ready for a change, and all she needed was that little spark, the ignition. And so I would like to sing a song that makes me think about Imelda and how she was ready and ready to make a change. And this song is called exactly that. It is called I'm Ready. And so I hope that as you listen to this, that it can inspire you to think about Imelda and the change that she was able to make, not just for herself, but for 12 other families that she was now able to employ and provide for through her simple idea and her business with the making of crates. So here we go. All right, slide adjustment so you can see the piano here. Here we go. I'm ready. I'm ready for a change. I'm not afraid to lose and leave it all behind. And I know that I can't see around the bend, but if I let you in, I know I'll be alright. Oh, I keep going and going. Even if they all stop, I keep going. Doesn't matter who's watching or not. Either way, I'll give it all I've got. 'Cause I only got one left to live. Yeah, I only got one left to give. And I know it's gonna change the ending. I'm ready. I'm ready for a change. I'm not afraid to lose and leave it all behind. And I know that I can't see around the bend, but if I let you in, I know I'll be alright. Been thinking about getting up the road, been thinking about the doors I've closed, but I know you left one open when my heart was feeling broken. There's a name you can only breathe, there's a love you can never see, and I know it's gonna change the ending. Oh, I'm ready. I'm ready for a change. I'm not afraid to lose and leave it all behind. And I know that I can't see around the bend, but if I let you in, I know I'll be alright. Hold me just a minute, hold me just a minute. Can you hold me just a minute now? Hold me just a minute, hold me just a minute. Can you hold me just a minute now? Oh, hold me just a minute, hold me just a minute. Can you? I'm ready. I'm ready for a change. I'm not afraid to lose and leave it all behind. And I know that I can't see around the bend, but if I let you in, I know I'll be alright. Oh, I'm ready, yeah. I'm ready for a change. I'm not afraid to lose and leave it all behind. And I know that I can't see around the bend, but if I let you in, I know I'll be alright.
Thank you, David. After that song, I feel ready.
Yes, and great job, David. He is definitely somebody who knows how to get the audience motivated. And now it's your turn to keep this motivation going. Time to open up your hearts and, you guessed it, your wallets. In the comments and the description is the link where you can donate.
And we've made it very easy. Just grab your cell phones and text the word mentors to 76278.
Now, when you donate your change, you will be making a literal change in the lives of families, not only today, but you will help future generations escape the generational cycle of poverty.
Just a nickel a day for a year comes to $18.25.
25 cents a day for a year becomes $91.25.
So if I do $1 a day, Derek,
come on,
how much is that in a year?
How many days in a year? 365.
So that would be $365. If you remember, we mentioned earlier with our mentoring multiplier, all donations become literally 5 times the direct economic impact in the lives of these mentored families.
Teresa and Juana, who we met earlier tonight, were ready to make a change. And now tonight we are challenging you to make a change for generations with your donation. Remember that your donation will be matched up to $50,000 tonight and throughout the weekend. This is your opportunity to make twice the impact.
I encourage you to share the mission and message of Mentors International. Keep the momentum of this evening going. Together, we will make real, lasting change. I've personally witnessed the change in individuals as they are receiving mentoring. There is a light in their eyes, a spark of hope, that they can succeed, that they will succeed, and they do. I am humbled by your kind hearts and generosity this evening. We are looking forward to the next 30 years of Mentors International, sharing more good news and growth with you.
I am so grateful to have been here tonight and to be here supporting one of the most impactful charities in the world, Mentors International. I am thankful to be able to share this evening virtually with everyone tonight and with my dad.
Thank you. Good to have you with me.
Good to be here, Dad. Don't forget that there is still time left on the silent auction. It will end at 7 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday. The link for the auction is on the Mentors International website, as well as in the comments and description.
We just want to together thank you again for spending your evening with us and supporting Mentors International and making it possible for this wonderful organization to inspire future generations. From the bottom of our hearts and from across the globe, we would like to say thank you and God bless you. Good night.
Thank you, Mentors! Thank you, Mentors!
Namaste!
Gracias!
Namaste!
Thank you! Mentors,
Thank you, mentor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mentors.
Gracias, mentor.
Akun Mentor International. Gracias, mentor.
Gracias, mentor. Gracias, mentor.
Gracias.
Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you, mentor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mentor Ghana.
Namaste. Thank you very much.
Adiós a todos.
Un abrazo virtual.
Gracias, hermanos.
Gracias.
Gracias.
Gracias.